little confused about these impulses. I know I should be safe and um, allowing 5 samples or whatever. I mean, that's nothing. 300 samples is something. But I'm going to try some experiments here. Um, I have it's routed to a second track, which I'm going to record the output of. And I'm going to tell it not latency compensated. Just record the output, stereo, whatever. Not sure what's going to happen here. I'm going to put Helix on this one, actually. I'm going to bypass everything on the first track. I'm just going to have a little click. Okay. So if I have this bypassed, let's just do a original. Let's see, impulses for Helix. Trim tests. So I'm going to do a baseline right here. Helix is going to be bypassed. I'm just going to take out the master send. So we're going to go into the second channel. Do I need monitoring on for this? I may. Interesting. What if this is on? No, I don't need monitoring on. Or do I? Hold on, sorry. Let me turn that back off. Nope. Okay. So I'm just going to hit record here. There still may be some latency compensation going on in the DAW engine itself. I'm not going to mess around with that. Let's just see what happens. So here's our baseline. So it looks like there's some kind of compensation going on. In fact, it's actually ahead of time, right? Interesting. That is probably, and I don't want to mess anything up, but let's take a look. I know it's in here somewhere. I swear. Oh yeah, here it is right here. Use audio, driver reported latency, input manual offset, plus 42 samples. I'm not sure if that's right, but I'm just going to leave this alone for now. Let's just check. Okay. So I'm going to turn on the Helix here. And I have one that's just latency tests. Impulse tester. Oops. So I'm going to turn everything off. And see, you're already saying 16 samples here, right? 16 samples of whatever. So I'm going to bypass everything. And look at what this 16 samples does. So here we go. Now, I'm not seeing 16 samples of stuff, but I am seeing something. Man, this colors is impossible. Let me do display settings. I'm going to change this to regular peaks. It's a little easier to read. Okay. So let's see what happens when I do rid of that cabinet. I'm going to put an impulse response here. Okay, so here's 312 samples before. We may need to turn off latency compensation to actually tell what's going on here, but let me just see what happens first. So in this case, I've got 312 samples before. It's like this thing. I got all this space before it starts. Actually, this isn't quite the right one, but there was something in here. Sorry. Let's just see what happens. Okay. Now, look at that. So I'm going to measure this in length of time selection. So what are we looking at? Minutes and seconds. So we're looking at 6 milliseconds because of this. Because of this, I should feel 6 milliseconds. Let me pop up a guitar real quick and make a version of this. So this is going to be 5, because it can't do latency compensation before the fact, right? Yeah, the latency definitely could create a natural echo. If you ever tried to play your guitar through something that's got way too much latency, you hear your strings acoustically, and then you hear it come out the amplifier modeler. That is pure pain, man. So that's the main thing I'm trying to avoid here. It's kind of crazy because a lot of the guys that run like they play through their iPads or their iPhones, their minimum is something like 20 milliseconds latency, and they seem to be okay with it. So chew on that for a second. That's kind of nuts, right? Okay. Now here's Bizarro Land. This it didn't bring the IR along with it, or did it? Oh, I put it in the wrong place. Sorry, guys. So let's see what we got here. I see you, but I don't hear you. Why don't I hear this? Routing. Going to the master. What's going on here? So this is my baseline latency, the round trip latency. If I look on the top right corner here, I'm seeing 2.7 and 3.7. So that's like 6 milliseconds. That's my baseline. So here I'm going to turn on this. Actually, I'm going to turn on Helix without anything because I want to hear that 16 samples, if I can even tell. I can't tell. That's a lot of volume there. Why is that? I don't have anything on. 0 decibels, 0 decibels. Interesting. Okay, so here's the impulse. It's very quiet. That's a problem. I don't know. I can almost hear it. What if I put 2 in series? Can I do that? So now this would be 12 milliseconds. Why did that just pan? Why should that be panned? Should that be panned? Put. What's that pan? Okay, hold on. I'm gonna save this as some snapshots. Is there a quick save on Helix? I would love to know, man, because it's such a pain in the butt there. Yeah, I should be putting this on my pedal board so I can actually switch. That's another thing, Line 6. It'd be really nice if it was easier to use the Helix as a controller for this, but I know it's possible. We'll look at it. Can't tell. Let's add more of them. So I'm gonna make these 1024, so it's half the sample rate, so I can, or half the whatever, so I can use 2 of them. Oh, awesome. Dynacord, Echo Chord, super. Tape loop, analog German technology. Man, tape delays are just unbelievable. Like, it's crazy that they still work, you know? So I think Dave was saying it's 6 milliseconds for each of these, so this should be 24 milliseconds. I'm not feeling any latency. But we see it on here, right? Look at when you do the rendering, it's definitely behind. So let's talk about something like five sorry, five samples. Copy that, paste that. Let's switch this one to this is going to be the 5 before, and I think I'm probably going to end up at like 3 before or something like that. But let's see. Let's just see. Okay. So if there's latency, oh shoot, I have this set wrong. If I go by the actual zero crossing, I'm nowhere near a single millisecond. Let's see how long this is going to be before I get to a millisecond. All right. Yeah, it's, I'm talking like, where does it end up? Like a couple samples? That's like it really is the 5 samples, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 7 or 8, but that looks safe. Let's check what 5 milliseconds sounds like. And from everything I tested, 5 milliseconds, or not, sorry, 5 milliseconds, 5 samples was just fine. We should do a test between 1024 and 2048. You know, I'll do that in 2 seconds here. Let me just get a feel for this. 5 seconds before. Ooh, wait a second. Was it playing the wrong impulses this whole time? Sorry, let me try something again. I don't trust this now. Boy. That was unfortunate. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so this is definitely 312. I'm gonna copy this. That's right. That's right. I wonder why it defaulted to the other. Interesting. Like this. I think I'm hearing some latency, but it should be a lot. It should be 24 milliseconds. Let me bypass some of these. Anyway, let's just go to five samples. 5 samples, 5 before. Ooh, ouch, 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 ouch. Ooh, time to tune this. But I'm not seeing a latency problem. Okay, so let's just check that other thing real quick while we're here. So we'll turn off everything else. Let's give this some white noise. I'll turn down the output because we don't really care about hearing it. It's just going to something for us to look at. Sorry, pink noise. Let's use pink noise. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to have this one. And let's... Oh, why is the volume not coming up when I do this? Oh, because I'm on the wrong one. Sorry. Sorry. Here we go. Can I do another one on the same thing at 2048? No, right? Nope. Okay. So this one's going to be 2048 down here. There's 5 before. And I should be safe at 5 before. Okay. But I'm just being crazy. So let's up this to 0 where we can actually see it. Okay. So just to reiterate what we found last night, let me get rid of some of these frames, sorry. I don't know why there's no minimize button on the Reaper tool bar window thingy. Should be. Okay. So if we're just looking at this one, so here's 5 before. Here's 1 before. Here's a 0 crossing. Still safe, right? Here we start to see something. 1 after. So really, at the 0 crossing is safe. I don't know why I'm being crazy, but I'm just trying to be safe here. And if we go to 2 after, watch what it does to the... It's really starting to change the tone. And at the first peak, like where everybody... Remember? People were chopping them at the first peak, right? That was the advice you got on forums. And if you said anything else, you were some dumb noob. They were telling you to chop it at the first peak. Here's the first peak. First peak looks nothing like the actual signal. Okay. So here's 5 before. And then make sure everything's exactly the same. 5 before. You get this to 0. And there could be some level differences. We'll see. So we're going to make one snapshot. Let's not spoil this. Okay. So here's snapshot 1. And again, anybody who knows if there's a way to quick save on the Helix native, I would love that. So here's snapshot 2 is going to be... Oh, shoot. Sorry. This is going to be snapshot 2. So snapshot 1 should be the opposite. And, you know, I would love it if it was more obvious if things were on or off on Helix. It's really hard to tell. You see that? Okay. So let's look at the span here. Okay, here's snapshot 1, which is 1024 point impulse. Oh, sorry. And here's snapshot 2, which is 2048 impulses. And I'm having a hard time telling if there's really a difference. Let's just do something. Let's try a maybe just a sine wave, I guess. Okay, here's a 1K sine wave. I kind of like to put this in a faster mode, actually. I suck with span. Okay. So that's 1024. And here's 2048. Now you see there was a switching noise. Huh. Let's do something really dumb. There we go. Okay, so if they're both on snapshot 1 and I hit the polarity switch. Now it's not nulling completely. I'm a little bit worried that we should do this a different way. So hold on, let me do this. I'm gonna send the same signal to both of them. So here's the MDA test tone. I'm gonna route it to each channel. I'm gonna take it out of the master. And then I have to remove it from the other 2 tracks. Okay, so now these guys should be getting the same signal. Oh, interesting. One says PDC 16 and one doesn't. Why is that? I'm still wondering about the plug-in delay compensation that Helix shows, because sometimes it shows some and sometimes it doesn't. See that this one's showing 0. And this one, I have a feeling, is showing 16. Which it is. Why? Why is one of these guys showing latency and the other one's not? How do I make this other one do 16? So I'm just going to start ditching anything else in the path. Is it that 2048 is 2048 eats twice as much or something? Let's see. So if I change this one to, no, that one's 1024 right now. So there's no, I see no rhyme or reason why one of these is 16 samples of latency and one's not. This makes no sense. Hold on. Okay, now they're both 16 after I hit play. Okay, so there we go. Maybe that's the trick. Notice that we don't hear anything anymore. Let's see if there's a null. Complete null. Okay. Complete null. These guys are both playing the same thing. So that residue was just because of that latency thing. So whatever. So I'm going to switch this one to 2048. And let's see what we get as a difference. Okay, I'm going to hit one of these so we know what. Okay, so our peak is pretty low. Let's oh shoot, this is a different signal. Okay, I'm screwing this up. Okay. Can't just switch to 2048. You have to actually pick the impulse again. Sorry. Before. There we go. Okay. So our peak here. What the hell? Why does it keep going back down to the wrong one? All right, sorry. Something weird is happening here, but just need to save this. 5 before. Okay, so here we go. We nulled again. I'm gonna save this. Okay. If there's anything there, it just doesn't matter. whatever this bump is when I click it. Yeah, that should be happening. I don't know what that is. Okay, so both these guys are at minus 18. No. All right, how are we nulling? Why am I not seeing anything? I should be seeing something. Okay, there we go. Still too quiet. I'm gonna go all the way to +6. Still too quiet. Happens if I crank the input up. Hopefully I'm not distorting anything. I'm gonna take a little bit of a. Just gonna do 12. Okay. 12 on that one. I'll do the same thing on this one. Interesting. That one will let me do 12. The other one won't. But you see that? Yeah, there's some bonkers stuff going on here. This one will do 12. This one won't. What in the world is going on here? That is crazy pants. Let's just try 6. Okay. Yeah, you never know. Software can do weird things. Yeah, it's still too low. Don't want to distort anything, but I think we're okay with this. So I'm going to minus 18, or sorry, 18 decibels out. So we are at minus 26, okay? Minus 26 is our 0. I'm going to put these together, see what they null to. And they aren't nulling at all. Why is that? Okay, one of these is way louder than the other. Why is that? Oh, there we go. Okay. So these are nulling to... I don't know what I'm seeing bounce. These are nulling to... Where is... Oh, there we go. So nulling to minus 66. And when they're not nulling... So it's like 40 decibels they're nulling to. I don't know that it's that worth it to use the 2048 then. I mean, it's pretty far away. I guess that's enough for now. I'm still confused. I think I'll use the 5 samples in front. I don't think it's going to hurt anything. So I'll... Hey, Simon. Just doing more impulse nonsense. But I think I'm going to start trimming to like 5 before, even though it'd be safe to do like 1 before. But I just want to be extra paranoid. And if it doesn't really appear to be adding latency, I guess I'm okay. So I guess